Hey, hey. Give me a moment. I am just setting up my HOTAS and stuff, and then we'll hop into DCS.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, man. Cheers for the resub. Good to see you. And yeah, it is morning. It's late morning, though. It's just about 11 o'clock. Sorry about the background noise. I got the aircon running. It's been a little warm in here lately. Go to bed, bro. I just woke up. Fuck off. Funny you mentioned that, Cotty. The aircon at work, I'm convinced it's Potemkin air conditioning. It doesn't actually do anything. And so when it's really hot and stuffy, it gets quite unpleasant of an afternoon. And so a couple of guys have desk fans. And I was thinking, it would be hilariously funny if I were to buy a DV3, get a transformer for it so it'll actually plug into 240 volt without blowing up, because it natively runs on 27 volt DC, and put that on my desk. The Hind fan, well, also the T72 fan, and the everything else they put a fan on fan. It's called a DV3. I know where to find them. I know where to find them really cheap. The problem is that it's a Russian site, and so I probably have to get some sort of intermediary over there, either to handle the postage if the sellers won't send international, or to work out payment shit if I have trouble. Like, I don't know if I can pay into Russian accounts, or if these guys have accounts outside Russia or whatever. Because you can find them on eBay. The problem is on eBay that they're like 200, 300 Australian dollars, which is ridiculous because the guys on this Russian site will sell them for 20 Australian dollars. Failing that, there are some nice Soviet vintage desk fans I found, which are basically the same thing. In fact, most of them are just a DV3, but in a prettier housing. But I'm really tempted to get the actual OG. Unfortunately, guys, I think today, at least to start with, we're going to be flying for the baddies, because there's a massive team stack at the moment. Like, almost a 2-to-1 team stack. So, I was doing really well in the MiG-19 last night off stream. I got 8 kills and didn't get shot down once. Of course, that happened when I wasn't streaming or recording, but I do have a TACU file of it. 2-to-1, not realistic, needs to be 69-to-1. It's 2-to-1 in Red's favour, hence why I said we'll be flying for the baddies. Stack more? Yeah, but then it's not fun, because it's really hard to find a target that isn't already being dogpiled by like 20 people. This is the part where I hope my webcam is set up properly. Hello? I think it's set up properly. It doesn't look like it's lagging. Man, I got really bad headphone hair. I need a haircut. Hey Monk, good to see you. Yeah, it's been a while. I've been busy doing the work stuff, but I'm glad you're here. Hope life's been treating you well. Fuck, what do I want to fly if I'm going to be stuck on blue? We'll start with a Sabre, I think. Fuck it. We'll start with an F-86. The other thing is my chair's going to be annoying the shit out of me all day because the heat makes the gas cylinder do that. So you'll probably see me constantly fidgeting about and swearing at my chair, but wouldn't be a Ross stream without being turbo scuffed. Recenter my track IR as well. Okay. Oh, it's clear weather. Last night it was fucking blizzard conditions, like legit blizzard conditions. The cloud base was maybe a couple hundred meters off the ground. It was awesome. Absolutely awesome. Do we go with the RCAF? Do we go with the RAAF? Do we go with the based Yugos? I'm gonna go with the Yugos, because why not? Just gotta figure out which of these liveries doesn't have broken rough nets. It's these ones, I think. Yep, it's these ones. Right.
Request rearming. Copy. Chief, turn on the ground power.
Now I gotta remember how to start this thing up.
Copy.
Отказ систем. Смотри экран.
Blue for a moment.
Imagine flying something that can't start itself.
Hey Steve, imagine indeed. Good to see you, man. Cheers to the resub. Blue for a moment. Womp womp. Okay.
Arming complete.
I need to make sure that's latched. That is latched. Oh, no. No. We hot started it. We don't want to do that. You gotta like half unlatch this or something. Oh no, that's right. You get it to 11%. I think. We'll try now. That's better. Not 11%, 6%, whatever. And then it gets there, and then you unlatch it again. Oh, no. Fuck! God damn it. It's a fiddly operation to do this with the way I got my throttle set up. There we go. I gotta be careful not to lift it backwards over the gate when I try and relatch it the second time. We're in a hurry, are we? Okay. Hey Rob, good to see you, man. Alright. I don't remember if I turned that off. I'll just leave it on. It doesn't seem to hurt anything if I leave it on. We need to reset the hides. We need to select our guns. Set flaps up in a sec. We'll get the oxygen running so I don't hypoxia myself. We'll dial back the range on the radar so we aren't peeing the ground. Get the ground crew to fuck off with the cart. Get the lid mostly closed. We'll close it all the way when we line up. Radio on, IFF on. We'll leave the weapon selector off for now. We'll do that once we're actually in the air. Want to use something. I think that's mostly what we need to do. And then I'm going to... So we're not carrying any drop tanks. Oh, pitot heat. Although, might not need it quite as badly today. It's takeoff from the taxiway day on Blue 4. I've noticed Red haven't been doing it as often, whereas Blue seem to do it exclusively now. They don't like the runway anymore. There's a fight going on over there. Okay. We've got the panel lights on as well. And then let me just consult the map. And Napa is 215 for the inner. Okay.
Отказ систем. Смотри экран.
Hey, Ligma. Cheers for the resub there, man. Good to see you. What did I say? The fucking 215. Imagine having a functional memory.
And Napa traffic toolbox 1-1, repair check off runway 21.
And I think we've got this. Where's the near far switch on this? I don't know. Whatever. No, no. Am I doing something wrong here? Apparently I am. I don't know where the near far switch is in the Sabre. I kind of need to know where that is. It's probably somewhere fairly accessible. Or at least it should be. Anti-VRist until he tried it? I was never an anti-VRist. But I'm also not really a pro-VRist either. Do we have any Saber autists in the chat? Where the fuck is the near far switch for the ADF? And yes, I do like saying soy goggler too much to stop because it's funny. Alright, you know what? Fuck it. We don't need radio nav setup. I know this map well enough. And it's good weather. We don't care about radio nav. Fuck it. We'll just go. Also, I shouldn't have been sitting there throttled down for so long because I just drained the shit out of the battery by doing it. Yes, you do need to know more than just WASD and left click. Terrifying, I know. And there's the oversteer. Hello? Can we straighten the nose wheel, please? I always fuck up the steering on this after I haven't flown it for a while. Oh, I fucked it up badly. Can we please... There we go. I should probably just use the toe brakes, to be honest, unless I need to make a really hard turn. It's so much easier. Don't get mad, but we're going to drop a patch tonight. When? After your sortie? Okay. Well, judging by how it started, it may not be the world's longest sortie, so... The gun sights on. This has always been, well, not always, but it's been in the playlist for ages, Cotty. MiG-25's coming in this patch. Oh, nice. Very nice. Should probably lower my flaps before I forget. Except I can't really see. We're going to close the lid now. About there, looks good. This cockpit in real life is so roomy. Like, you've got so much space either side of you, so much elbow room. I was really, really surprised by just how much space there is in the Sabre cockpit. You've got a really good view too, because you sit so high. And that's not observations from playing in VR, that's like, I have sat in a Sabre cockpit. It's quite nice. I haven't flown this in VR to compare, because I don't have VR, and I don't know when I'll get it. I probably will get it at some point. I don't know if I'll use it for DCS that much, but still don't have it yet. Actual late 50s PVO campaign, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I would imagine so. But the scales would be kind of iffy. Alright. Off we go. Let's make sure there's nobody about to take off into my face. Down the other end. Uppies. Flaps should now be up. We're going to come off the power a little because really we shouldn't be redlining this engine constantly, and also if you do redline the Sabre engine constantly in level flight, you'll end up getting a little bit too fast and some unpleasant things will happen. Guess what I forgot? It was the air brake. I thought that takeoff felt a little sluggish. Flying Legends is cancelled? Yeah, I saw. Just for this year, right? Did you bring tanks? No. Why would I need tanks? Bro, I'm not bringing fuel I don't need. Just for the aesthetic, because it's one more thing I've got to remember to do before I get into a fight. It's whatever you want it to be because it's the air conditioning. The actual canopy will get hot from friction. At a high enough speed. At a lower speed it'll be cold if you're high enough. But the actual cockpit has air conditioning, so it should be whatever temperature you set it to. It might be a little hot or a little cold because it, you know, won't necessarily get the temperature exactly right, but say there was no AC, you would probably have a very unpleasant experience. It would be cold. It would be very, 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 very fucking cold. In World War II, they used to wear, like, full-on, like, fucking sheepskin flying suits and stuff, so that they wouldn't get frostbite, so... 069, and he's after me. Nice. Oh! Oh, that's their airfield. I should probably not get too close to that. I'm probably about to catch a SAM. Although, if I was going to, it would have happened by now, so maybe they don't have any active. Imagine actually paying attention to where you are. That's great. Thanks to that little panic, I have no idea where this guy is. I didn't see him. 032. He's pretty close to... Oh, there he is. There's the fucking giga candle of the MiG-21's afterburner. And he actually wants to turn and fight me, which is hilarious. Oh, he's already so slow. Jesus Christ. Why are they like this? If he extends, we get him with a missile. If he doesn't, we'll close and get him with guns. We're going to stall out, but that's alright, he will eventually as well. Just got to make sure we keep some forward speed so we don't kill the engine. Yeah, okay, Crimps is not going to shoot at us apparently, which is good news. There he is. What are you doing, son? There's something else behind me as well. Flak, maybe. Long-range flak. Don't know where it's coming from. He might have no engine. I think he's got no engine. We probably got it with that solid burst up the afterburner. Oi, oi. Let's say he's going in for a crash landing. Oh no, he's got an engine. Okay, extend away. See how that works out for you, son. No, he's going to turn again. This guy's got such a huge brain. I should probably cage a gun sight at this altitude, but eh. Something went supersonic past us. I don't know what he thinks he's going to achieve by making me overshoot, because I'll just turn in behind him again. He's dead. Su-25, 221. See it yet? 037. Oh, there he is. Hey, bud. It's going to be a little harder out to Su-25. We can do it. It's just that it won't be as easy as a MiG-21. Oh, he is angry. I like seeing aggressive Su-25 pilots. And there's an F5 in this as well, so we got a friend who's probably mostly just going to get in the way, as F5s tend to do. Might be a little close. Nope. Well, the F5 sacrificed himself so we could get an easy kill. We've got another MiG-21 to the south. This is parachute. Okay, that's dropped off the radar. Concerning. Don't want to fly too predictably, because that flak will fuck us up. God damn it, Ligma! Well, Ligma just rang the dinner bell on us, so, we'll see how long we last. One, 2, 0. The habit of looking too far ahead or not far enough ahead when I'm looking at people flanking me. There's our 21. He's really fast though, he's supersonic. Hey bud, please turn. Cut the burner and or turn. We're not going to get a missile shot at him while he's pulling away from the sat quickly. Oh, there we go. There we go. And I just remembered why I've got the cage sight bound to. We're in business, boys. Oh! 888. Got a little too close to the airfield. And then lost sight of the 21. .351. He's gone right. And our engine appears to be dying. In fact, everything appears to be dying. Oh yes, that would explain it. Well, my sortie was not ended by a MiG, it was ended by me being a dipshit and overflying the airfield again. And my hides are gone. I think completely gone. Yep. Out we go. That was a productive sortie. We got how many? 2 of them? I'll take it. Hey, Yink. Sight cage on the paddle switch. I've got on the thumb button on my throttle. You gonna do the patch? Here are patch notes. I can't open YouTube videos while I'm streaming, or my browser will open and kill my PC. But I'll let chat watch that while I wait. That would have been simulating me trying to fly with Zach Rix's ego on board the aircraft. That would have been that experience right there. There's a fight going on behind me somewhere. Gliders have a much lower airspeed. Yeah. To get the cockpit super uncomfortably hot, you'd have to be going supersonic, probably considerably supersonic. Like, you need some serious speed to get that amount of friction heating going on.
On 251.0.
Well, while the server's down for patching, I can catch up on chat. B-52 air conditioning uses hot gases from the engine that then dilutes with the stratospheric cold air. Yeah, that's generally how ECS works in most jets. They use engine bleed air. Have a joystick? Yeah. Yeah, I got the full setup. I got a joystick, I've got a button box with a lever for the landing gear, and then I've got the throttle. Oh, speaking of tanks, by the way, Cotty, although a different kind of tanks, fingers crossed for GHPC patch very soon, because boy, that's gonna be a doozy. There's gonna be some good stuff in that one. Got a serious question about this game. How easy is it for someone like me, who historically had problems preventing arcade tanks from driving into lakes, to learn to control the planes? You could probably get the basics pretty quickly, but, like, not flying into the ground while in a dogfight, especially if the weather's crappy, that might be a little more difficult. And yeah, it is a decent candidate for a VR game. Like, VR in-game has a lot of good points, although I should also add that the game is not the youngest game out there. It's built on quite an old flight sim series. It's been kind of cobbled together over the years, so progress is slow on updates, and VR is supported natively, but the quality of that support can vary. Sometimes things will render in the wrong eye, sometimes things will flicker. Like, VR has issues with DCS, but when the VR guys aren't complaining about the game being not good enough for VR, they won't shut the fuck up about how VR is the only way to play the game and everyone else should play VR. And having actually tried the game in VR, it does give you quite a nice sense of speed. Like, you get a sense of motion that you don't get on a flat screen against the ground and against clouds and things. But on the other hand, it does have some annoyances, like, you know, you basically have a toilet roll kind of field of view. Oh, hey, Tats is in a Gazelle. Haven't seen him for ages. But yeah, like, it's a good candidate for VR, for sure. Oh, we've got a new bot. Cheers for getting that, Josh. I am going to have to do some tinkering here so that Beepski will pick that up. That's a new one. We haven't seen that one before. So what I do when I see a bot is I copy-paste chunks out of whatever their text is, and I pick things that a normal person wouldn't ever say. And then I tell my bot to ban anyone that says that. On the other hand, is Beepski actually... Oh, Beepski should be working, he just won't let me add stuff at the moment. Oh, right. I see why, because I'm a dumbass and I'm pasting that in the wrong spot. There we go. Even bots are now polite. Bear with me. Why has my music stopped? Oh, it doesn't want to play that? I hate when YouTube or like whoever uploads video disables embedding on it because it makes my music bot not play it. First world problems, I know. There we go. Anyway, yeah, so just a heads up for anyone in my chat, don't try and imitate bots for a joke, because Beepski will probably permaban you for doing it. And I might not notice that Beepski has done that. I think lots of them are using ChatGPT now, maybe harder to filter. Probably, but especially if they're trying to be all polite and flattering like this, it makes it even easier, because who the fuck is going to turn up and say, hello, sorry for bothering you, I want to offer? If they're not trying to sell me shit. But yeah, also, I'm not sure they have thought that far ahead yet. We're not dealing with the biggest brains in the universe when we're talking about Twitch view bot sellers. Best bots are the ones that also give you a follow. It's the least they can do, yeah. Alright, we'll give it another couple minutes and we'll refresh and see if the server's back up. Then we'll hop back in, and hopefully we'll get to fly as the goodies this time. Because I've barely been able to fly anything on Red for weeks, because it's always fucking stacked when I get on. I would like to stream some more World War II stuff. The problem is that, oh, Wolfpack's got a couple of people on. We might play on there a bit later if it retains some population. Tempest tends to be pretty dead when I'm on. 20 Squadron's dead, and then 4YA. 4YA had like 20 people on the Allied team about half an hour ago, and a single German, and now it's nobody on the Allied team and a single German. Maybe we can finally fly something that can start itself. I know, right? What if someone politely gives you the option of flying with them? Then that was their mistake for thinking they came to a polite channel, wasn't it? How's Korea doing this time of day? I don't know. Probably pretty dead. I don't even see the server. They must have moved it to a new box. Yeah, it's empty. It's this one. PvE, okay. Mm-hmm. The old Korea server tended to be as well, unless somebody organised a sesh. Oh, there we go. I wish integrity check was disabled again for a little while, because unfortunately, I don't know if I've had a rant about this on stream yet. I've had a rant on it on like 5 different Discords. I was okay with the whole competitive DCS thing when I first started streaming DCS. I've gone off it completely. I am so sick of that shit. Because these fuckers cry and whine about every little fucking thing, and they get so much stuff locked behind integrity. Like, I've come across cheaters in DCS. I have actually come across it. Not even in competitive gameplay. I came across one in Growling Sidewinder, and it took ages before an admin got on and did something about it. And it was like proper cheating. This guy was teleporting around with infinite missiles that would teleport onto people and insta-kill them. And you couldn't shoot him down. So, like, it's possible. However, you can do it through other ways that the integrity check won't pick up. And most of the stuff that people are going to fuck with through the integrity check, it's pretty minor anyway. The problem with having everything locked off behind integrity check is the MiG-21 sound mod no longer works properly because one of the files it needs to modify to get the cockpit sounds working is now locked behind integrity. The F5 radar scope mod, which I've been using for ages, that makes the radar scope actually look like a shitty CRT scope and not like fucking garbage War Thunder graphics. That doesn't work anymore because it's locked behind integrity. You get booted off the server if you try and load into an F5 using it. The Vigan HUD visuals mod, the radar visuals mod, Micey's version of the App27, which has a few extra features that the Heat Blur official one doesn't in terms of realism. None of those work anymore. I'm over it. I'm really sick of competitive gamers whose egos are too big for this game, getting shit locked off behind integrity check that really, like, who fucking cares? And is it really that hard if you're having a competitive gaming league to check this shit yourself? Is it really that hard? The only other thing I could suggest is that ED split into 2 levels of integrity. They have one for normies and one for the fucking competitive gaming autists. And they have the competitive gaming one just not accept anything. And then they have the normies one more relaxed like it used to be, where things like visuals mods to make radar screens look like better, as in crappier, more realistic, right? And things like that still work. Because I'm really, really sick of things that improve the visuals of the game and actually make it, like, actually make you disadvantaged instead of advantaged. I'm sick of those not working anymore because of the competitive gaming scene crying about fucking cheaters and shit. I'm so over it. And then, you know, you just get these constant fucking dick measuring contests every time a module comes out about, oh, the radar in this one's overperforming by 0.003%. I'm like, fucking who cares? Work with what you fucking got. Jesus Christ. Teleporting to places and destroying shit like Mozzies in World War II. Hey, Boiler. Good to see you, man. Hope uni's been going well. They need to use a tournament client for tournaments like sane people do. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, yeah. Let's just do that. ED's just using it as an excuse to... Oh, it might not be properly restarted yet. Just using an excuse to encrypt everything. They absolutely seed over how bad mods make them look sometimes. The thing is, they're not even encrypting these files. That's the thing. They're not encrypted. It's just doing a checksum against them, as far as I can tell. Like, you can still modify these files. The mods still work. It just fails integrity because the checksum comes back, you know... like, it comes back as a fail. That's all it's doing. The files aren't encrypted. As far as I know, most DCS files aren't encrypted, and the only dev that did large-scale file encryption was Leatherneck. Like, before the Mag 3 and Heat Blur split, that was Leatherneck with the MiG-21. Or it might have been after the split and Mag 3 did it, I don't know, but... the MiG-21 has a bunch of encrypted stuff. The A couple of the other modules have some encrypted stuff, I guess. Weapon stuff has been encrypted because people fuck with that, but I think you can still mod in weapons, I'm pretty sure. Like, the encryption thing is overblown. That's not the actual issue. The issue is just integrity check, and that comes purely from people whining that this and that file needs to be locked behind integrity so that people can't modify it and play multiplayer. Tell us about the F4U. I don't know anything about the F4U. Like, I don't know anything about it you guys don't know. I don't have inside information, like, as far as that goes. The things I do have inside information on, I don't have anything interesting to tell you, and I can't tell you anyway, because I've signed a bunch of NDAs about it. Uni's now done. Might go back and do a master's, but I'm 3 months in a job. Oh, nice! Been busy with that. Hey, man, work is work. I've been busy with work too, which is why I haven't been streaming as much. But that's awesome. Glad to hear it. And, you know, as far as major aircraft producers go right now, Airbus is probably the one you want to be working for. Because, Boeing, they aren't doing so well. Wouldn't it be simpler if you just didn't need mods to fix the game? I mean, yeah, but... The problem is, if ED, or if for the vegan stuff, Heapler, whoever, if the devs actually do the thing these mods do, people will complain about it. Because it makes it less, like, it makes it harder for them. This is the problem with DCS, is that a significant chunk of the player base don't actually want realism, they don't actually want simulation. They just want to feel, like, they want War Thunder, but they want to feel cool. Like, they want to be able to brag to their War Thunder friends that they did all this while having to remember, like, 69,000 different fucking button and switch combinations. That's it. That's the average DCS player. I might need to restart the game if it doesn't drop me back out to the menu shortly. So I think it timed out while I was connecting. Meanwhile, I'm unemployed again. It happens, man. Sometimes it takes a while before you can find something stable. It kind of sucks, but eventually you'll find something. I don't know... I would look into if there's any sort of... Because you actually end up finally getting a diagnosis, right? I know you were chasing that for ages. I would look into if there's any, like, special entry programs to different roles for people that have, like, whatever neurodiversity thing going on. Because that's how I got my job. And not only is this the first actually stable, well-paying job I've ever had in my life, besides the Army Reserve, but, like, it was actually really not that difficult to go through the process of getting it either. And it's been working out really well. So... if there's any sort of things like that that you might be able to apply for, I would look for those. I've been trying to get my sister on board with the same thing. Because this is the thing, right? Like, people who have ADHD, or they're on the autism spectrum, or they've got whatever other condition that falls under the sort of blanket of neurodiversity, as they call it now, it makes it really hard to hold down a stable job. Because either... people won't employ you because they think, oh, there's something off with that one. Or you do get employed, but then because you aren't properly supported in the workplace, you end up having a meltdown and then you quit. Which is what I ended up doing so many times at different jobs, because they'd overwork me and they wouldn't support me at all. And then I'd just be like, right, fuck this, I'm out of here, see ya. I'd rather be unemployed than deal with your shit. So it's really difficult to hold down a stable job, if you can even get into one. But... now that people are starting to wake up to that fact, and, you know, everyone, well, not everyone necessarily, but a lot of employers want to be seen as good model employers, and they want to be seen to, at least be seen to care about this kind of stuff, if not actually care about it. They're starting to look at different ways to bring people in so that they can improve their representation of like, neurodiverse employees and stuff. And so if you are in that boat, that's a really good thing to look at, because it might actually land you a stable job. Now, in my case, the fact it's a government role does make it a little easier, because the government does actually care about this shit instead of pretending to care about it. But yeah, That's something I would strongly recommend because I know that my community is going to be full of people who have brains like mine in different ways. That's something I'd strongly recommend looking into, especially if you're having trouble actually getting into a role and holding it down, is I'd look into something like that. All the people who whined when the Car 50 monitor became green. Yeah! Yeah, I could not fucking believe that. I mean, the whining when they added the... I'm gonna have to restart DCS, bear with me, chat. All the whining when they added INS drift and stuff like that, yeah, sure, I get it, whatever. Like, it's still dumb. Like, whining about adding a realistic feature in a simulator is some fucking clown tier shit. But at least it's understandable because it's disadvantaging them somehow. And, you know, DCS players will fucking cry and moan until the end of time if you disadvantage them. But the fucking Car 50 screen changing, I don't know what the fuck it was with that set them off so hard, but it was just page after page after page of pissing and moaning on the forums. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people, man? Genuinely, what the fuck? Finally getting my diagnosis. Parents received the letter today. Congratulations. Hopefully it will make things easier. I mean, that's... The problem is, right, it's such a long, arduous, emotionally and physically draining process to actually get a diagnosis for something, and in a lot of cases very expensive. Even here, where we have, you know, an actual healthcare system, so I can fucking lose an arm or something and not pay a cent for all the required fucking medical assistance. Getting an actual diagnosis for stuff like this is almost always going to require seeing specialists, which means private system, which means you're paying out your fucking ass. So it ends up being really expensive and drawn out, and you might not necessarily get it on the first go because you might need a second opinion because the first person you see about it might be a bit of a fuckwit and not know what they're talking about. But when you finally get it, at least then you've got something that says, no, look, right here, I need a little bit of extra help with this kind of stuff. I need people to actually, you know, give a shit. Whereas if you don't have a diagnosis, they'll just give you the, oh, it's all in your head, or, you know, oh, it's not so different for me, you know, that's just like me. Like, no, that's, you know, like people when you tell them, when someone says, oh, I've got depression, somebody goes, oh, I was sad once, like, fuck off. Seriously. Hey Saber, good to see you, man. Hope you've been well. Those Migs look like they're about to drop the coldest album. It's a good photo, hey. It's very draining, not expensive, fortunately. Yeah, that's good to hear, at least it wasn't expensive. Now a Unicum tank gamer. Are you going? Intriguing. Oh, fucking, you have to play as the baddies again? God damn it. Just had the best match of my entire lifetime playing Thunder. Why are you playing that though? That's the real question here. What are you doing with your life? Just found out how dumb I am. I figured out how to game 3DS Max. Oh yeah. I need to install Blender. I'll probably do it after I move, because then I'll have a bit more time to set it up and learn it. Saying best match playing War Thunder is like saying you made out pretty well out of a car accident. Yeah, really. First in a team, no death, 7 kills. I'll tell you a secret to do that. Fly the Hurricane or Spitfire in low tier. It's fucking easiest claps of your life. Same with the, well, to a degree, the Zero, but the it's easier with the Spit and the Hurricane because they're a bit more survivable. Oh, we can fly red. There's blue starting to hop on. Yeah, let's take a 21. Check JTAC. Okay. I will check JTAC. Once it lets me change slots. Ah! Someone poached it. Oh. 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 Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. They're flying kind of slow for MiG-25s. Only a true speed of 2,130 kilometers an hour. It's what? Mach 2 point something? No, 1 point something? 2 point something? Oh, did someone bag him? A hawk got him! Oof. Man got clobbered by a hawk. Alright, that's cool as fuck. Let's hop in a jet. They're now red stacked again. I don't care, fuck it. As long as it's not a huge stack, I can still hop on red. It's just when there's like an absolutely gigantic stack, it means that it's going to make it miserable for me, because then there's going to be 20 different people going for the same enemy. I mean, I'm guessing they're not flying at their, they're not revealing their true power level because the blues need at least some kind of chance of intercepting them. I mean, if blue were actually competent, they'd be able to, even if they were flying at fairly full speed, but blue aren't competent, so, you know, you gotta kind of make things easy on them. Can we carry God's Missile? Yes, we can. We had 60 Ms? No, only 60s. Okay.
Request rearming. Copy.
Give the blues a crumb. Blue counterpart aircraft is F4E. Yeah, but, you know, that just sounds like a skill issue to me. If blue wanted better recon, they should have designed something a bit faster. I mean, actually, technically, if the server runs the Skyhawk, I guess you could run the fucking SR-71 mod as an AI-only kind of thing, but I don't know if it'd be worth it. I don't know how good that, like, well, I'm assuming the flight model on it isn't good, but, like, I don't know how bad it is, put it that way, or if it has a damage model. Gotta try and remember how to start this thing up, because it... I mean, I was gonna say it's been a while, I was literally flying it the other day, just my memory's crap at the moment. It's just going to keep blinking at me anyway. Putting radar into training mode? No, the radar spawns in training mode. Учебный режим, боевой режим. That's combat mode on the left. I should not be turning all those on before I do this. I wonder if I'm ever going to get punished for doing that one day. I don't think the electrical system in the 21 simulator is the point where it matters. Does it actually do anything? No, I just do it out of habit. Technically, you're not even supposed to do that until right before you fire the R3R. Otherwise, you're basically just giving whoever's out there with a sniffer the frequency for it, but I just do it because otherwise I'd forget. It doesn't do anything, but, you know, a little bit of LARP never hurt anybody. Cool and interesting bug which got introduced a couple patches ago. I don't know if it's been reported yet. Someone probably should, but I keep forgetting. The red lamps are no longer red for some reason. I don't know what changed. The textures are still exactly as they were, as far as I can tell. It's just, it doesn't work anymore. What is our RSBN here? 31, I think. 31. Okay. That should be everything. Oh, the EWR format's changed. Interesting. By the way, I'm not sure if anyone's told Ugra this yet, but their Su-22s are standing on one leg. Their main gear, only one leg is down. All of them, for some reason. Also, I wish we had a Su-22 M2. I actually would prefer the M2 over the M4, even though the M4 is a lot more capable. The M2 just looks cooler. Don't at me. Have you played Phantom Liberty? Not yet. I plan to probably sometime this year, but I haven't yet. I've been playing through Control over the past couple of weeks. I've really been enjoying it. My capabilities? Yeah, I'm reverse my capabilities on the Su-22. Well, Su-17 and or Su-22. Basically same thing. Control is just a really good game. Like, I like everything about it, and it's also relatively bug-free. I don't think I had a single game-breaking... Well, no, I had one game-breaking bug relatively early on where all I had to do was restart the game, and it was solved, and I never got it again. It was a graphical error. And then the only, like, non-graphical issues I've had happened more than 30 hours into the game, and again, it was a simple case of either just reloading the level or restarting the game, and it never happened again. It's really polished. And the architecture. Oh, the architecture and interior design is to die for. I should stop taxiing like a granny. Hey, Marduk. What an amazing time to start a stream.
What an amazing time to start a stream.
Hey,
Kappa.
Go easy on me. I slept in this morning. Demonic fridges. Yep. Yeah, that's the good shit. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. My takeoffs have been pretty clean the last few times I've flown the 21. I think I finally cracked the amount of backstick I need to get her to lift off the ground like that. No wing drops, no bounces, nothing. She just peels off the runway. Just feels good. Satisfying. We won't fly directly to that A10, we'll just head this way. I suspect he's flying around Hama, because last time I flew the 21 on here, last week or so, I think it was, that was what happened. There were a lot of fights around Hama, and so it was a case of you don't want to get close enough that they draw you into the Roland cover, but also you don't want to open yourself up to getting ambushed by somebody that just took off. Need to check if there's a program like what you mentioned. Yeah, there probably will be at least some somewhere, but keep your ear to the ground for them. If there's like, I don't know. If you can find some sort of specialized support agency or whatever, like not necessarily like a standard employment agency, but like, you know, one that's specialized towards helping people find roles that have whatever sort of neurodiverse conditions, they will often have a pretty good idea of where to start with stuff like that. Whereas your typical government employment agencies, or, you know, in most cases, private but running on government contracts, employment agencies are fucking useless for that kind of thing. Hey Joe, good to see you too. Yeah, I've been working, so not streaming very regularly lately, but I still squeeze them in where I can. How's the new job? It's been going really well. Really, really well. State run here, I think, is still pretty useless. Probably would be even more useless if they were private. To be honest, ours used to be state-run, like, way back in the 90s. 80s? 90s? I don't remember when they scrapped CES, but yeah. After they scrapped CES, things got much worse. Hey Bombs, good to see you too, man. I'm not sure about the new format for the EWR. I don't need to know the aircraft type as badly as I need to know where it is. Having the type before the bearing makes it a little slower to read. Which is not too bad when it's only a few aircraft in the air, or like they're still pretty far out, but when you start getting things close to you, you need to be able to glance and see exactly where something is. 68 kilometers for the nearest though, so he's a ways out. Which MiG is this? 21. C-130. Ooh. There we go, Sabre 231. He's way out there, but he's coming at us hot. Recommendations for Cold War plane. The MiG-21 has some issues. It's a very old module. It needs an overhaul, which it will get at some point, but it's still a lot of fun. It's probably still my favorite module. The MiG-19 is quite nice. Honestly, any of the Cold War planes are worth getting. But I tend to bias towards the Soviet ones at the moment. The F-1's pretty decent, except the radar and weapons are a bit underwhelming at the moment, as in, like, they're way better than they should be. But the aircraft itself is quite nice. Has a lot of fun limitations you have to work with. I'm waiting for some more interesting Blue 4 airframes, like some of the jankier American ones, because the F5's a wonderful plane, but it's a little too smooth, too easy. Guess what I forgot, although compass wasn't that far off, thankfully. A lot of A-10s airborne, holy shit. 236 for the Sabre. Yeah, 104 would be awesome. Helicopters are a good shout too. The Gazelle's really good now too. It could use a little more polish still, but like, it feels like an actual helicopter. I really enjoy the Gazelle now. Especially if you got a friend that also will want to fly with you, because then you can actually use the ATGMs effectively. You can technically one-man the ATGMs, I just find it really difficult to try and keep the thing in a hover while steering them. 239 for 85 now. This Sabre's gonna... Are they smart? Is the Sabre player someone with an actual brain? I don't know. Maybe. And yes, I know I could sort by type. I don't think I've had many run-ins with them, so I don't know if they're smart enough to know what I'm probably going to do to them if they keep flying towards me. Hey Max. I know, right? It's a rarity at the moment. F4E, oh, there's their reconnaissance plane. Is a little far out at the moment, but... That... looks like Hummer. Which is actually ours at the moment. Okay, so I don't need to worry about SAMs from Hummer. Good to know. A-10s are all working to our south. We could go fuck with them, but the Sabre's recommitted on us, so we'll stick with him for now. Gazelle isn't a cheat code anymore, good to know. No, it's not. It flies like an actual helicopter. It's still a Gazelle, so it's still quite nimble, but it flies like an actual helicopter, and you don't need, like, absurd fucking curves to make it not flip out, either. Credits for killing call-ins now. Well, if I got the fuel and the weapons for it after dealing with the Sabre, we might go for the F4, especially since we know we can land a Hummer now. Actually, what's the RSBN for Hummer? 29. $239 for 43. He's dropped altitude, so maybe he had an idea what was coming for him if he stayed up high. I don't really want to get into an extended dogfight with an F-86. When I'm on form, I can win those in the 21, but I'd rather not take the risk. It's also a great way to get third-partied. 237. 35. Oh, there's a second Sabre. Green smoke. Interesting. Friendly up there. Oh, he's got a friendly chasing him already. Now, It might just be placebo effect, but I feel like the 21's radar has actually had more trouble picking things up and holding them at low altitude than it used to. I want to believe there's been some work done on it to make it a bit less bullshit, but I'm not sure if I do believe that. I might just be unlucky, or, you know, might have been aspect-related stuff. Green smoke is JTAC stuff? Oh, okay. Mr. President, a second Sabres hit EWR. Says he's flanking right and there's a ridge line there, so we might not be able to hold him too well. Oh no, I see him. There he is. Oh. Oh, you do not know what you're setting me up for, son. Womp womp. F4E 250 28. But he's way high. I'm not sure I'm going to get up there in time. I've got to keep my speed up because it's going to be a rear aspect shot with the R60s. What I should probably do is turn around and climb in the same direction as him, parallel his flight path. 15 kilometers. 294. He's probably heading north up the coast. We're actually slightly supersonic, which we don't want to be, because that's not a very efficient way to climb. I don't know if we're going to catch him. No R60Ms on this scenario, only R60s. So it's a rear aspect shot. Gotta go sleep. Sleep well, man. It's good to see you too. And hopefully you can find yourself something that might get you into a good role, good stable role like I've ended up in, because it makes a huge difference on your life when it finally happens, let me tell you. Lance of Christ, I already used them both. I wasn't taking chances with that saber turning into me, so I gave him both. Okay, F4's actually headed northeast. Yeah, almost certainly not going to catch him. That wasn't a very efficient climb I did there. The F5s don't get the 9P5, they get the 9P3, which is smokeless rear aspect. The 9P3s are fucking nasty because you don't see them coming. Yeah, the F4E is pulling away from me. Someone else will have to deal with him. We'll go for the Skyhawk. Hey, super. Skyhawks are bastards to hit because they're so squirrely. They're also very small targets. So we're probably going to go for an R60 shot on him while he's not aware of us, and then RTB. So don't want to get too low on fuel here. F5 coming Drop the empty R3R racks. Yeah, I know they actually cause a significant amount of drag now, but I don't want to jettison them unless I genuinely need the speed. I don't at the moment. I only jettison the missile rails if I absolutely have to get the most speed out of the aircraft possible to avoid getting killed. And going on that intercept, I knew I wasn't going to catch him anyway. I wasn't in a good position to start with, so there was no point doing it. Same. Dudes listen to fucking nasheeds in the background. We might not catch this guy unawares. There you are. We do have a rear aspect, I think, but the sun's behind him, which isn't helping. Go, little R60! Clap. Okay. Then that F5 was on the scope too. He'll be pretty close. 175. I think that's AAA locking us up. Oh, we got problems. F5's right on top of us. Then we've got more coming in. That was ground fire, I think. Yeah, that's ground fire. Shit. I need to just bail, I think. I see him. He's behind me.
225.
We've got enough fuel to just emergency burner our way back to armor. Hey, Indy. I think we're good. We did take some damage to the wing. I can feel it. She's a little rolly. Small, well, not small. It's a 20 mil spray from the ground targets. So we'll do a quick repair when we land. $45 kilometers to Hummer. It's just off our left, and we've still got about 800 liters of fuel, so we should be good. Unless we got a fuel leak, which is possible because the wing tanks are on the inboard where we got hit, but I think we're okay.
211.
Third group of tanks light should be flashing at around 800 liters, so I think we're okay for fuel. I don't think we got a leak. Yep, we're on the Ligma.
211, on light. Yeah, man. Okay, cool. Fellow at 225. See what we can do. Nice, yeah, I'll grab a drink while my plane's starting up.
Skyhawks are agile, but R13M is agiler. I'm carrying 60s on the inboards, but yeah, the R13 slaps.
Green smoke. I was watching that video about the update. Looks like Lay's targets be marked with green smoke.
How's the flight's been so far? This is only our second sortie. We had a Sabre sortie before the server was restarted and updated, which ended due to my own hubris, as usual. Last night off stream, I was flying the MiG-19 on the Caucasus mission on Ligmas, and it was blizzard weather, so it was very, very interesting. Managed to make 8-0 on the 19 last night. I was very proud of myself. If only I was streaming or recording, hey? Alright, getting close. I'm going to, just for the sake of getting practice at doing it, flip the PRMG on.
Open guard. Sounds good. I'm just a lurker, I got all the channels open.
Nice. I loaded up with rockets and some air-to-air.
Oh, we're way close. We'll do a bit of a kick out to the left and then back to the right.
Weeks, if not longer.
If you were streaming, it would never have happened. Yeah, you're right.
Hostile contacts. I'm thinking about going sunrise.
So there's the runway there. We'll just hairpin it to the right. Our landing speed may be a little fucked up by our battle damage here. We'll have to see how we go. She's very unstable in roll.
Bye.
Okay, we should capture the needles. We have captured the needles. Go full flap. Start getting some trim in. We're high and we're to the left, which we know anyway. So if you look at my artificial horizon, you want to bring those yellow needles, the little ones, into, well, you want to bring the needles into a cross in the center, but you want to bring the little needles into those circles on the top and the left. So we're slightly left of center, and we're slightly high at the moment. We're just about to intersect the glide path. We're probably going to bottom out below it because I was a little slow, a little behind the aircraft. But the glide path will also bring you to the center of the runway typically because of where the RSPN is set up. It won't bring you to the actual landing point. So once you get within a certain distance, you want to be a little below it.
I'm just gonna shoot and scoot, so I'll let my rockets off on a target and then I'll get. My check. Copy, thank you.
That's you in front of me, dude?
Check.
We'll just do a loop here and rearm on this spot. I don't want to park on the taxiways because when the server gets crowded, people tend to take off on them. I don't want to get smacked into. Spotify won't like that one. No, it won't. It's their whole set from Live 8. That was comfortably numb. I think I wasn't actually paying attention. Because I do breathe, money, comfortably numb, and then wish you were here, or is it wish you were here, then comfortably numb? Might be wish you were here, then comfortably numb.
Slowing up.
We'll find out in about 2 seconds. Good demonstration of what happens when you get task saturated, by the way. The fact I don't know what song was just playing I couldn't hear it because I was too busy focusing on getting the aircraft off the runway and not getting run into. Oh, damn! Someone's gonna have a bad day. That's an awesome sight. Right, we need to neutral out our trim, which we just did.
What's the plan?
Let's send on comms, I guess. I've got to do some more work on my cockpit livery, but I've got to move that serial. I've got to fix the rough mats too, I still haven't got around to that, but I've got to move that serial. Because it doesn't make sense to have it twice on the canopy. I've got the full serial there, and then I've got the last 4 there. Probably I'll have to move that onto the rail here. So that would be attached to the aircraft, and then the last 4 would be attached to the canopy, so you can keep track of who it belongs to. Hey Cracks, good to see you, man. Right. Give him a second to rearm us, and we'll get airborne again. I probably should have turned the radar off to avoid wasting coolant, but it should be okay. Usually I get about 3 sorties out of it before I have to actually do a repair to refill it.
Complete.
Oh, please don't take off. Hopefully he goes onto the actual runway. He does look like he's coming towards me a bit, hey? Oh no, he's not, okay. Good. Reading something earlier, turns out at higher speeds it's just having howls. Audible from the cockpit, that's awesome. I think the 23 has a bit of a howl to it as well at certain engine settings and speeds.
F5 getting close.
I don't know if you'd hear it from the cockpit, but I've, like, from videos I've seen of the 23, it sounds like it howls a bit. Kinda like the Phantom does. Bands in dive attack howl? That's fucking sick.
That's 216 degrees.
I wonder why the 23 sounds similar to a Phantom.
Right?
Don't you start. Don't you start. I mean, it... Well, in the B-58, yeah. I was going to say, though, in the 104, it could still technically be the intake geometry.
Alright, I'm circling with him about
But yeah, if it doesn't the 58 as well, it must be the engine itself. Still can't get over how many fucking compressor stages the J58 has. It's like 17 compressor stages or something. Like, my brother in Christ. The, I think the F5's engine has some ludicrous number of them as well. Like, the Americans went with single axial and just a shit ton of stages, whereas the Soviets went with twin axial. Although the Lyulka engines are similar to a J58, in that they're single axial and they just have a shit ton of stages. So many of the stator stages are adjustable? I don't know off the top of my head. I've heard the number, I just don't remember it. It got filtered out by some other piece of useless information. L7 only has the first stage adjustable. Hmm. Is he... yeah, he's coming this way. That's alright. That's alright. We'll stay over to the right and we should be
Lock me
fine.
for a sec.
Rockets away, I'm on TV.
Oh! Oi, oi, oi! Oh, someone forgot to fucking repair. Shit, okay, never mind. Well, I'd say we've got a flap out of commission. We're going to leave the gear down. We're going to bring the flaps up.
I thought I was flying with you two, I'm flying with the other end.
Big two, I'll tell you.
I'm way overweight to land, but... actually, yeah, we'll just punch off the belly tank. We'll hold on to the missiles, even though they're unlimited on this server. Like, we won't lose any if we punch them off. We'll just hold on to them anyway. Yeah, that was very silly of me. I should have actually remembered that I had some battle damage and got it repaired. But see, I wouldn't have been able to tell. I would have had to have somebody actually outside the aircraft tell me I had some holes in me, because I can only barely see the holes on that wing if I look back all the way back. And there's no warning lamps or indications on in the cockpit. Everything's working fine in here. It's just that I've got wing damage. It's affecting the aircraft's handling. Favorite air defense system? S-200. Arson rifle. Alright. I have a soft spot for the Bloodhound as well, but S-200 is my favorite.
Is the R3R better than the R3S?
It's a radar missile, so it's good for head-on attacks, but otherwise it's basically the same as an R3S. It can't turn very well, it's quite short range.
So R3R?
Depends. Like, R3R's good for head-on attacks at medium and high altitude. At really low altitude, it's kind of shit, and if they know it's an R3R and they turn hard, it's also kind of shit.
What about RS2 US?
No, that thing is... It's memes. Like, you only take the RS2 US or the R55 if you want to style on somebody. They're absolute trash. If you want an actually good IR missile, R13M, R13M1, or R60.
Well, the beam rider is a missile. Which one's better between the two? The RS2 US or the R3R?
R3R. The RS2 US is the beam rider. I'm way fast.
And the R60 is the best IR missile, yeah?
It turns the best. It's really good at short-range stuff, but the R13 is better for long range. It reaches further. It also has a bigger warhead. The R13 is basically an AIM-9G or H or something. And the R13M1's like basically an AIM-9J, so...
Me too, especially too.
So I'm guessing the R13M1 is the one I want.
If you want range, yes. He did. Actually, you know who else reminds me, like, who has the same sort of thing going on, is, what's his surname? Jarvis, from Pulp. Jarvis Cocker. Once they plug in the power cart, we'll shut the engine down and get repairing. Do you like that one gorgeous second of MiG-23 in the trailer? I was hoping for a bit more MiG-23 in the trailer, but that is an awesome shot of it. Like, it's a very, very nice shot of the aircraft. My favourite shot from Battle of Britain is the same angle, same kind of cinematography, but of a Spitfire. So, it was cool seeing that same shot done with a MiG-23.
Anybody know how to request AWACS? I got a code, but I don't know how to place the dang thing.
You gotta place the bunker down, and I think it's just AWACS. But put a bunker down where you want it.
Okay, I'll have to figure it out. I did the request, I got the code, but I don't know how to place the marker. I'll have to go back and do a little Google.
Go to the F10 map, there's a circle icon, right? And the circle icon has a text box next to it.
Gotcha.
Okay, now double click that symbol on the map and then type in that little under box. And then AWACS,
1012, Pink Donkey, steer to 170.
DCS?
Yeah, but I'm about to get on with my buddy, so I'm not gonna go sunrise.
Cockpit layout makes no sense at all. It makes perfect sense. Absolutely perfect sense. You got your blind flying instruments in a 6-pack. Scan, you've got your airspeed, altitude directly below it, artificial horizon. Like, this is a perfect 6-pack, right? This is how you're supposed to do it. Radar altimeter could probably be in a better spot, but it's not the worst. Radar has to go somewhere, so, you know, sometimes it's up here, sometimes it's down here. In the MiG-21's case, it being down here is probably a good thing, because these instruments here, and this control panel here, are things you want near your eye line. So if you're... Yeah, it makes no sense actually means isn't Western. If you look at a lot of Western aircraft of the same vintage, their cockpit layouts are actually worse. So, like, if I'm looking straight ahead through the gun sight, relatively close by, I've got my accelerometer, which is an important performance instrument during turning fights. I've got my angle of attack, which is critical in something like a MiG-21. You need this somewhere you can see it. The US typically would bury these two instruments down by your knee on either side. Some aircraft like the A-10 have them up on the windscreen, but most of them it's down by your knees. These are important systems for the aircraft. This is your nose cone, so if this instrument is indicating wrong, you need to know real quick, and you need to be able to manually adjust it. This is your essentially a G-limiting system that stops you from breaking the aircraft, so having that where you can see it is useful. And then this is your weapons control panel. Having this up top left like that, you can reach straight ahead with your left hand off the throttle. So you take your left hand off the throttle, you reach for this. Instead of having it here, or here wouldn't be too bad, although, you know, having it near your eye line is good, instead of having to look down. You've got your... Okay, so here's your throttle. By your throttle, you've got your flaps for when you're getting ready to land. You've got all your emergency procedure switches here. All of these, they're within easy reach of the throttle, so you barely move your hand. Landing gear, easy reach of the throttle, barely need to move your hand. Then you're all over the right side, this is all stuff you set and forget. This is stuff that you only need to set either on the ground or very rarely in flight. Except the radio. The radio is one thing I would move. Although for Soviet doctrine, you don't actually need to change channels on the radio very often, so that's actually that's kind of a Western aircraft thing, is needing the radio somewhere more accessible. This stuff you don't really need to mess with in flight. This stuff you don't really need to mess with. You just set it before you go into an engagement. Like, it's a good layout. Engine instruments are all in the same place.
I never identified.
It's perfectly fine.
At long range.
You don't need to change hands to do things. Like, that's the thing. For a DCS player who's not sitting in the actual cockpit, yeah, it probably looks awful, but when you're sitting in the aircraft, it makes perfect sense where everything is. Like, having all of your emergency stuff by the throttle where you can just muscle memory it is really good thinking. And because the Soviets didn't change their cockpit layouts very often between aircraft, like, you can go from a MiG-15 to a MiG-19, well, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, and things barely move, even to the 29. So you don't need to spend as much time on conversion training learning where everything's moved around to, particularly like with US stuff, between different manufacturers, they would have just no standardization whatsoever. Soviet stuff was very standardized. It made it very easy to do conversion training. We should be good to go now.
Are y'all worried about the F4? That's at 50,000 or no?
It's a reconnaissance aircraft. Go intercept it if you can.
You'll get a lot of points for intercepting them, guys. I mean, me personally, I would love it just putting that around. You're already getting a booty seat, bro. And then we're literally on their side. They're so good.
Is SRS still preferred over voice chat? Yes, because the DCS community are fucking autistic and they won't change to something they haven't used before. Personally, I prefer not to have to launch SRS every time I play DCS, but most servers are still using SRS. Favorite is sliding runs. On the Phantoms, the Phantoms layout's awful, but the F-14 was bad too. The F-14 had some issues. I wouldn't say it was completely awful. The main problems I have with the F-14 are the accelerometer and angle of attack being in stupid places like they usually are on American jets. Very rare for the Americans to put those two instruments in a place where they're actually useful. And to be fair, in the real aircraft, you would have, you could feel the G on set, so you'd at least have some sense of what's going on. I'm taking the ground power cart with me. I can't be asked to tell them to disconnect it at this point.
Oh man, I wish the Russians would have built the 21. Oh, where's that? Dang it.
Don't know how to use in-game comms, except for when Mr. SRS quits updating SRS. You probably don't even have to set much up, you just set a bind for it in each aircraft. I think other than that, there's nothing you really need to do. Should just work, depending if the server's got it set up properly. Oh! Bro. Oh, he ejected, I think. I was gonna say, how many times do you want to miss? That's something that they really need to work on sometime soon, is getting the fucking SAMs, particularly some of the Red 4 SAMs, to work the way they're supposed to. The ASA is so much worse than it should be. I mean, it probably should be not great for engaging fast aircraft, but things like helicopters and A-10s, it should be an absolute death note against. Yeah, that was a Phantom. 2 seats. I like that you can order in seed missions, that's pretty awesome. Gives a lot of options, especially for Red, because they don't really have an effective seed aircraft while we wait for the Su-22 to come out. S16 is definitely way more comfy to sit in. The 21, I think most things on Earth would be more comfortable to sit in for the 21, especially if you're like a larger person, width-wise or height-wise. I'm probably tall enough that I'd be bouncing my head off the top of the canopy if I was wearing a helmet. Liebman's has AI fighters for specific roles, so reconnaissance and seed. There might be one or two others as well. Are you at Enigmas right now? Yeah. Check flaps. They're set correctly, trim set. We no longer have holes in our wings, so hopefully she won't try and fucking high-five the ground when we take off. Is that someone landing? Yes, it is. I'll line up, but I'll wait for him to get out of the way first. Is the over-under on Russia having an actual stealth aircraft squadron before 2093? I don't know. I don't really care that much about modern equipment. I'm a Cold War equipment kind of guy. I don't think it's as relevant for them, to be honest. I think stealth is useful, but it's assigned too much weight versus actually having a large number of producible aircraft that you can support over a lengthy war of attrition, which is how most wars actually end up shaking out. Because the side that can continue to produce basics, like artillery shells, tends to win, versus the side that can't. Probably burnt a lot of radar coolant by leaving it in standby for so long, but oh well. Oh no, we would have refilled it with a repair, never mind. Never mind. Not an issue. Jeez, there's an F5 that close already? I'm gonna... Oh right, because I'm flying from Hummer now. We may as well just jettison the fuel tank as soon as we're off the ground. We'll start flying with the 490 instead of the 800. $210.45. MiG-21 radar doesn't ring the RWR on an enemy. So there's some bugs with it. It won't give them a warning when you lock them. The AI will, but the player flow in MiG-21 doesn't. And apparently it wouldn't give a launch warning for the F5 a while ago. Like, that was a recent bug that only started happening, I think, last year. I don't know if that's been fixed yet. But, you know, kind of the thing with that is you can still see the MiG-21's radar in search mode on the RWR, so you know he's there. And also you can see the missile launch, because it's got quite an obvious smoke trail, so people shouldn't be so reliant on their RWR before they start evading. They should be proactively defending instead of waiting until the missile's already in the air, because they're probably going to die anyway if they wait. Like, I think that if it still hasn't been fixed, that is a problem, but I also think the problem's overblown, and it's more of a problem just because people don't know what they're doing. They're not doing things the way they should be. Hello, what are you? Looks like another 21. F5's flanking right. He's engaged by somebody. There's a friendly and an enemy on the radar there. That's probably them in front of me. That is them in front of me. I'll go help the MiG out. Or Mirage or whatever it is. Can't quite see. Looks like the trailing aircraft is our F5. Lead is a Mirage F1. Wait, that's not an F5, that's a MiG-19. Bro! For 54. Okay, so we don't have anything close anymore. At least not that we can see. Oh, we do. 190 for 49. It's Vigan. There he is. Hey buddy, I got an F1 with me. There he is. Splash. It's probably AAA locking me. Maybe. Good call a merge. Jeez, the SPO's going wild. Oh, that was Ligma? Good. I think we are kind of close to one of their airfields, so we don't want to get into SAM cover. Also, there's a Skyhawk behind me. Oh yeah, that's what was locking me. It's Roland. So we'll just get some distance. Plenty of friendlies around. 213, flank right. Once he's out of coverage of those Rolands, we'll go for him. That's Alcusera, I think, over there, that was engaging us. Somebody just got splashed. Probably one of the friendlies flew into the fucking sands. 223, 8 kilometers. He's really low because the radar can't see him. He's probably behind this ridge. Fucking Skyhawks are hard to see. I think I just saw something duck behind that ridge over there. So we're going to take the chance that that was him. 298 for 3. Should be off the nose. Still no joy. He is in the weeds. (22 degrees for 3). There's the merge ball. I don't like the fact I can't see him. Probably going to catch an aim. Oh, he might have gone down. No, 205, now an F5. We should probably get out of here. Degrees. He's real close. Oh shit. Yeah, I saw that too late. Smokeless missiles. Kinda nasty. I shouldn't have got that close. We're right on top of one of their airfields, right on the front line, so it's a bit of a circus down here. So I think rather than basing out of Hama, we'll use that as a diversion airfield, like if we need to divert for fuel, but I think we'll stick with Al-Duhur. Just because it discourages me from doing dumb shit like that. Yes, I want that on. I don't want that on yet. Doesn't really matter, but... Helps if I turn the starter motor on, doesn't it? I've gone on this topic before on stream, but just for those that haven't heard me say it yet, the MiG-21 does not have an APU. I know it says APU on the English cockpit textures, it's a mistranslation. This aircraft does not have an APU, there isn't one. The MiG-23 has an APU. This has a starter generator. So the DC gen, when this switches up, the DC generator is actually running in reverse as a starter motor off the battery. Once that switches down, it's running as a DC generator off the engine into the battery. It's the same sort of thing that U-boat engines used to use. Well, I think diesel electric subs still use them for their engines. So it generates power off of off rotational energy when the combustion engine's running, and it generates rotation off electrical energy stored in the battery when it's in starter mode. An APU is an actual secondary engine, like a second jet engine in the case of most aircraft. Or in the case of tanks, it's usually a small donkey engine. Guess you saw the Bradley T90 video? I saw a video of it. I haven't been, like, really paying that much attention to stuff that's been coming out of the war. It's just, like... I'm not much of a fan of the whole war as sports thing, so... But, I mean, it happens. Like, sometimes tanks get caught in a bad situation by an IFV, and they'll get killed by it. I don't know why people are making such a big deal out of it. It's the same shit as how people think the Abrams is invincible, right? And they think that it's impossible to destroy, or it's only ever knocked out, and they can just rebuild it from nothing. It's... Like, 99% of discourse around the war is just complete garbage that's not even worth engaging with, I'm gonna be real with you. It's just because people want to pick a team and then cheer for that team. Like, it's literally just sports to most people. You know, a country losing the bulk of its healthy adult male population in a miserable war of attrition is just sports to people. That's where we're at as a species, I guess. Okay. you connect an electric motor to the DC grid, it's a motor. If you then start spinning it up faster than it's already spinning, it's a generator. Yeah. Well, I mean, all it is, right, is just a magnet inside a giant coil, so it can work in either direction. Energize the coil to make it run as a motor, spin the magnet to work to make it run as a generator. Oh, fuck me. I'm really not working with my best brain today, am I? Sorry to the guy behind me, because I'm going to be blocking the way for a minute.
Armor traffic. Single
He can just go around me.
fish bed. Emergency landing. Long final. Runway 27. Armor traffic.
Don't want to bother you with this question, but I'm a noob. So when we lock on enemy just to track, it still gives them warnings. When you lock onto them to track, no. I don't think it's been fixed yet, so it doesn't. When you're just searching in search mode, and you can see all the contacts, it gives a warning that there's a radar there. But when you lock, it doesn't give them a warning. So, where are we on now? Do you think the color map could become the most popular map when it comes out, or will it still be Syria? I don't know. Probably still Syria. A surprising number of people don't understand how critically important the Kola Peninsula is strategically. And they think it's just empty, there's nothing in it. Why would you have a war there? Why not model St. Petersburg? Yeah, because you're really going to have a war over a major city instead of, like, massive amounts of fucking natural resources and the Northern Fleet's base facilities and a significant amount of Russian aviation and, you know, the islands around Lofoten where the NATO carriers were going to hide in the case of going up there for a war. Like, yeah, that's totally less important than a fucking city, dude. I don't know. I'm hoping Cola's popular and people use it, because I really want to fly on that map, but the DCS community is not the smartest bunch of minds, and I'm not sure they'll quite get things the same way. They'll probably still just want to fly Syria and bomb fucking goat herds from orbit with their fucking JDAMs and shit. Me? Jaded? Never. Yeah, Sinai. I wish more servers ran fucking Sinai.
Good kill.
Damn, someone got me just east of Hammer.
Little bounce there.
Oh shoot, it was a MiG-21. Oh. I was coming for a landing.
Brain activated moment.
At least I can walk back to the
I
airfield.
kind of wish old mate AWACS was on a different channel, because he's fucking overloading the shit out of my brain at the moment. Iraq as a map, I'm interested if we can do Iran-Iraq war stuff. If it's ODS stuff, or especially 2003 shit, I don't give a fuck. I'm so fucking tired of fucking 2000s Westoid garbage. Like, fuck off. Just give me actual interesting wars instead of massive imperial power beating up on fucking third world country. I understand that a lot of DCS players are low-test individuals to the point where they don't want to fight anything that might actually have a chance of shooting them back, but, like, I want actual interesting conflicts. A lot of the Saudi airfields are fairly deep in the country, probably.
There's an A-10 in the area.
I mean, the US were largely flying from towards the other end of the Persian Gulf, from memory. Saudi involvement as well. The US are probably flying from some Saudi airfields. I know they were flying from, like, the UAE and shit, and Oman, whatever. But the RSAF were absolutely fucking useless during Desert Storm, so... like they usually are. They're all still crawling in the weeds. Yeah, ODS is interesting from a logistics standpoint, and there were some engagements in it, but, like, the 2003 invasion is just, like, fuck off. Likewise, Afghanistan Western Edition, like... should probably throttle back a bit on Wasteman Field. I'm gonna go for those A-10s, leave the F-5s alone, because the F-5s are gonna be hanging out near fucking Alcusar. I don't want to get swarmed again. Oh, okay, now the A-10s drop off scope and the F-5s are coming my way. That's alright, we'll draw them away from their airfield to the east. Oh yeah, the Soviets just about got an F-16. I think Pakistanis got the F-16 themselves by accident. A MiG-23 was damaged, but made it back to base by an F-16 while it was on a strike mission. There's some pretty deep water there. The 23 that took the hit ended up with corresponding nose art. It was because all the 23s flying from Bagram had vultures on them, and that one was a vulture with one of its wings in a sling. But also the Soviets had quite a few air-to-air engagements with Iran, both in Afghanistan and over their own border with Iran. A couple of 23 on Cobra engagements. Ooh, hello, 2 friendlies there. A9. Okay, that F5's engaged with 2 already. So we can go help out. Oh, there we go. 225 for 45. We got a willing customer here. We've got one that's literally asking for it.
Shot that F5. You're blessed. Oh my god.
If he stays at that altitude, he is genuinely asking for it. Oh, yes, you beautiful thing. Oh, he's... Oh no, he's flanking now. I was going to say he's even flying directly at me. He wants it. I can tell. He wants it. Hey, buddy. What you doing over there? Oh, there you are. He's snaking a bit. He might actually have an idea what's coming for him. Oh, he's aware. Not aware enough. That probably shouldn't have hit, to be honest. Radar shouldn't have really liked me doing that. Hostile over there. Not entirely sure what's locking me. Probably nothing good. Oh shit, I'm near fucking... I don't want to be here. Okay, this is Hummer. The airfield's on the other side of that lake. 225 for 11. Saber behind me. Played any misfires lately? No, I've got to do some cleaning up of my add-ons folder, and I still haven't got add-on linker installed. I just keep not getting around to it. So I can't even update the game at the moment because there's not enough space on the SSD. $154.7. Rockets stop coming out of them.
You can't shoot no more rockets.
There probably is an indicator for it. I forget. I think the indicator lamps behind the stick go out. The indicator lamps behind the stick might go out when they're empty, but I don't remember off the top of my head. 342. This is not ideal.
Come back to 111 Crystal TV.
There you are.
Oh, shotgun is it?
This is definitely not ideal. the flares. Let's pray he either wasted his missiles already, or they go for went for existing flares. He has shot at me. I think we're okay. Still chasing. Notice I'm not flying straight. A, that helps me keep his missiles from having an easy shot, and B, arguably more importantly, it lets me use my emergency burner to keep my speed up while also not overspeeding the engine by letting it accelerate too long in a straight line. Okay, he's turned off. 258, hold. My turn, bitch. I don't know if I'll be able to spot him though. Oh, he's recommitted. But we have friendlies here, so... Oh, he's on one of them? Oh, now you are fucked, son. Is he closing? No, he isn't. See ya! Okay, never mind. R60 let me down. They've been doing that quite a bit lately. Do have to be a little mindful of my fuel here. He's fighting someone else as well, so... might be able to get a shot in. Oh, never mind. Other guy got him. Good. An F1, hey buddy. Oh, that wasn't Hummer, sorry, that was fucking... what is it? Homs, that's Homs. Hummer's up north. Further north, anyway. Look at me getting my cities mixed up. Saber is always spelled RE, I think. I don't think even the Americans spell it ER, because it's just taken directly from French. Got a Vigan coming our way. Unfortunately, we don't really have the fuel to play with him. Remove all flares. If I had that power, yeah, that would be pretty interesting to see the reactions to it. Upset a lot of people, I imagine. But hey, most of these aircraft didn't carry flares until quite late in their careers, or if they were on a ground attack mission. I mean, we could... 75 kilometers? Yeah, fuck it, we're gonna divert. Oh yeah, an F-15A would be awesome. Oh my god, the fucking AWACS spam. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that needs to go to a different radio channel. That really needs to go off the main radio channel, because that's... holy shit, that's annoying. Both the audio of it and the fact it just filled half the screen with text. If that happened in the middle of a fight while I was trying to eye-track somebody over that side of the canopy, I would have been fucked.
traffic inbound, runway 28, 10 clicks out.
And we got people giving traffic calls over the combat frequency.
Emergency landing.
Oh my god.
Which runway? There are no numbers. But I ran out of fuel, my engine's gone, so if you don't mind clearing the runway, that would be amazing. I'm waving off. Thank you so much.
I didn't know I'd accidentally joined Blue 4.
Be advised there are 2 aircraft on Hammer runway. Copy. I lost hydraulics.
How did you... Oh my god.
Try not to crane at the runway.
How did you lose hydraulics? It should windmill. Right. He was too slow. If he lost hydraulics, it means he was already too slow, because it should windmill. And as long as you don't aggressively yeet the stick around, you should retain enough pressure to make it back down. Nice.
Go hit a power line. Victor 1-1 Hammer traffic, on final now, runway 28 Hammer.
2-8 means he should be coming from that end. Oh, there he is. Man, he's fucking way far out, Jesus. Wait, so no. 4-1. Not bad. I'll take it.
Vacate the runway.
Bro, just seeing a void. Oh, crunch. He cut power too early. You notice how the engine smoke cut off about probably 10 meters above the runway? He cut the throttle. Never cut the throttle in the 21 until all the wheels are on the ground. Because when you cut the throttle behind
BFG Pink Donkey, radio check.
this position, this detent, once you cut it behind here, it cuts off the airflow to the blown flaps.
BFG Pink Donkey heads
Closes the valve.
120, 35 kilometers.
So never ever cut the throttle behind that point until all the wheels are on the ground.
Fast, digging. He's after the AWACS.
So many people complain about the 21 being hard to land, or you gotta land it really fast and the tires burst. Like, no, you come in at about 380, 400 kilometers an hour on approach. You come over the fence at the end of the runway at about 350 kilometers an hour, tops. And you aim to touch down at about 280. Depends on weight and a few other things, but generally 280 to 300 is what you want to touch down at. You never want to touch down faster than 320. And you keep power on until the wheels are on the ground. If you cut the power early, you'll drop out of the air and you'll bounce really hard. That's why people crush the gear on the 21. That's why they bounce. It's not because of anything the aircraft's doing, it's because they don't know how to fly the fucking aircraft. As long as you keep the power on, it flares out nicely. The other thing is you don't flare really steeply, you basically just bring the nose level, or slightly above level. It's a very gentle flare. But you just give it a gentle flare and it just floats down. If anything, you should probably have more chance of floating the thing down the runway because you're giving it a little too much power than crunching it because you cut the throttle and bounced. Why am I getting a MiG-21 in picture? Huh? What? Interesting. I'm assuming that's a bug. That or there's a defector going around. Can't use afterburner at max flaps. Yeah, although they only added that feature, I think like 2 years ago. Because it's not mentioned in the flight manual. Genuinely, unless I missed it, I've never seen that mentioned in the pilot's manual. It's probably mentioned in one of the technical books, or the... No, it would be probably one of the technical books. Or maybe a different manual than I have, but the basic flight manual doesn't tell you. Yeah, that is a distance. 26 kilometers distance. 21 kilometers altitude, I've done that. I've done more than 21 kilometers altitude in this. I've done 20... No, I've done 30... 31 in this. And 35... 34, 35 in the MiG-29. 34, I think. Now it's giving me... Why is it giving me friendlies on the picture? What the fuck? I guess it just gives you close contacts or something, and if there's no enemies, it just gives you friendlies instead? I don't know. It's weird, it wasn't doing that before. What the fuck? I think they should allow the F-15C with no AMRAAMs on these Cold War servers when the 23 and 29 come out. Maybe. I mean, the radar's still FC3 bullshit, but maybe. Oh, hello? Connection lost, server restart, not sure. The thing is, like, the F-15C... Maybe when the 29 comes out, the 23 is going to have a hard time against the 15C in a lot of ways. Close combat-wise in particular, like the F-15C in close combat is still one of the easiest things to win in with DCS, because it does high speed well, it does low speed well, it does sustain turns well, it does instantaneous turns well. Like, there's nothing it does badly, really. It's kind of impossible to lose with, unless you're brain dead. Yeah, I timed out. You've got to be really, really bad to lose in an F-15. Like, really unbelievably bad. it also has, you know, nearly 1,000 rounds of 20mm and a perfectly accurate gun sight, so... It's kind of like the reason why the Mirage 2000 isn't in more Cold War servers. The Mirage 2000 is just like fucking literally an I win button against these aircraft. The only thing that even challenges it is the MiG-29, and the MiG-29 is harder to fly well because it doesn't have fly-by-wire. It's a much more hands-on aircraft. But the Mirage 2000 is just easy mode. Server might have actually gone down because it won't put me back in. Wolfpack's got some people on it. Kind of feel like doing some World War II stuff. I don't think this is going to be a long stream because, you know, my weekends are actually pretty precious to me now time-wise, but I might do a little bit of World War II and then we'll see where to go from there. I do still want to do Paranoia 2 on stream. I was originally going to do it this stream, but I'm not sure if I will. We might do it next time. Didn't it take forever for the 2000 to become operational? Wasn't it really a 90s plane? Kind of. So, the original Mirage 2000 had the RDM radar, not the RDI that ours has, and the RDM was very tellingly nicknamed the Radar de Mer. Merde being French for shit. So that tells you a lot about the quality of the radar. That was the radar of shit. It also couldn't use the the Super 530D until I think 87 it was. It could use the 530F before that with the RDM. But with the RDI, I think that was brought about in 84, 85, something like that, and it wasn't fully operational with the 530D until 87. So it did take a while. Kind of don't want to stack, but I also kind of don't want to fly German stuff when I've been away from it for so long, because it's a lot harder to do for me. Kind of just want to fly Old Faithful. So I think that's what we're going to do. Normally I'd cold start this bit, but because I have to warm up the engine, I don't want to be sitting around doing that if I'm not going to be streaming for... Oh! Did I just pick a cold slot anyway? I think I did, because I'm a genius. Whatever. Well, we'll run with it. We'll roll with it. We'll just have to warm the engine up. Prop fully forwards, this off. We want fuel cock open, pressurization we don't need on yet, but I'll have to remember not to forget it. I'm good at English. 1, 2, 3. We'll give it 3.5 and we'll see. Don't know what the outside temperature is. Should have checked the briefing, but who cares?
Rearming complete.
Electric fuel pump on. Is the oxygen on by default in this bit? I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I don't think you can turn it off at the valve. I think you can only turn it off here. Okay, yeah. Right. Oh, right, I forgot. I can't do the left click, right click on this. It's only the Mozzie you can do that on. I need to actually use the keyboard. Okay. And, important detail, make sure the brake's on. We're a little overprimed. Not too bad though. Come on. Oh, maybe we are like a lot overprimed. Just crack the throttle and let it breathe for a minute. Really, 3 pumps, well, 3.5 pumps is enough to overprime it. Come on. There we go. Good girl. We've also got to fix the trim because ED like to leave you with suicide trim when you spawn in. Right about there should do it. And we'll turn the fuel pressurization on now, even though we technically don't need it until we climb to a certain altitude. So now what we do is we just gently bring the oil temp up. Because we want to get the oil pressure down. The server has external views, I'm pretty sure. So, while we warm up... There we go. I'm gonna go get myself a cup of tea. I will be right back. It was the boost gauge. So the boost gauge was only showing up to 16 pounds boost. Our Mark 9 gets 18.5 pounds boost. So I made a quick and dirty interim fix for it, and then after a couple of weeks, I think it was, may have even been after a week or so, ED fixed it. The altimeter window is, well, it was wrong as well. I don't know if it still is, I haven't checked. So the altimeter window might still be fucked. But the boost gauge is fixed. Anyway, I'll be right back. I should probably actually get some lunch while I wait for the aircraft to warm up. Motherfucker! Who strafed me? For fuck's sake! You cunt. A 51! A fucking P-51! Or actually, no. The flak's fire, or the ACAC's firing. Maybe the 51 was just trying to shoot whoever shot us, I don't know. Was it the Mustang? Well, we're gonna have to shut the aircraft down and fucking repair now, so that's great. Love it.
Request
fuck's sake. Alright, well, I'll go get my tea, and I guess we'll have to warm the aircraft up again once it's done repairing. Oh, there's another guy? Okay, then. There is a habitual team kill that tends to work on this server. It wasn't him, though. I don't remember. It's been too long. Oh, that did not sound healthy. That really doesn't sound healthy. Is that a bug? Or is it actually backfiring? No, it's not Gurn. I repaired it. That's the whole reason I had to shut down the aircraft and restart it, is because you can't repair it while the engine's running. She sounds okay. Yeah. But you have to be shut down for it to work. And then there's a 3-minute wait for it to tick down, and then it lets you repair. That really doesn't sound right. Oh, it's my tail wheel! That's what it is. It's my fucking tail wheel clipped through the ground. Thank you, DCS. The repair probably bugged that out, so now I'm probably going to break the aircraft if I try and move. Love it. And yeah, I'd play DCS exactly because it's like a museum. If I wanted to play something that wasn't like a museum, I would play a different game. Or like a less high-fidelity flight sim. But I'm of the opinion that it is a good thing that something like DCS exists. And it is not somehow inherently wrong to like something like DCS. Harry will, of course, argue with me until the end of time about this, because he is very much of the other opinion, but I think you need both something that covers the broader context and something that's like autism incarnate, like DCS. Ideally, I'd like to have both, but that's really just not possible, game development-wise. Oh, the Artificial Horizon, the Spitfire's out of whack like 90% of the time. It's really temperamental, so it doesn't matter. Not that big of a deal. This mission's more overcast than it usually is. Might make things a little interesting. Oh, I think I know what I can do here. The engine's not going to like this, but... There we go! Problem solved! Problem solved. Okay. It still seems like it's a little wonky. Yeah, it is still a little wonky. Hopefully we get away with it. Classic RTS, I used to play them. I don't know, I don't play RTSs that much anymore. Uh-oh. I think we're gonna get strafed again. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna... Fuck. That was timed well. Unfortunately, he probably saw where I was going, but... Yeah, I know Gurn. I used to play it a lot. It's a good game. Bonk! Okay, he's dead. Back to warming up the engine. shouldn't take too much longer and we'll be able to run it up to full power. You usually want the oil sitting at least, well, at least about 40 degrees. We're sitting at 30 now, so we're pretty close. Coolant's really not getting up to temp though. Why are you not shipping regular cars in cargo hulls as passenger planes doing intercontinental flights? Because that sounds boring as all fuck off to me. The only way you'll ever catch me doing that kind of thing is the N225 flying something a bit bigger than cars. Will you grab the F4? Yeah. I'm just hoping it lives up to the hype. And that they don't do any handholdy, easy mode shit to make the fucking plebeians happy. I want it to be as janky as it should be. It looks like the radar will be, at least. I can't wait for all the fucking idiots that went on the War Thunder forums and read through that thread where people were trying to claim that the air-to-ground bombing system was some kind of scuffed look-down, shoot-down capability. I can't wait until they find out that it's not, and it's actually useless for air-to-air stuff. It's going to be great. Do you not see the picture here? A picture of a Ford Fiesta sent me? No, I didn't. Next Chinese module is a Peace Pearl. Why can't we have the F4 be the Peace Rhine? Because the Peace Rhine was an absolute piece of shit. And DCS players would cry if you gave them an actual piece of shit. Okay, here we go. First Spitfire takeoff in a couple of months. We'll see how this goes. Has it been? Yeah, I think it has actually been a couple months. Excited about the 29? Yep. It'll be nice to finally have a full fidelity 29 whose sensors actually work the way they're supposed to. F4F ICE. We better not. I'm so sick of the M capabilities shit, man. Like, just genuinely so sick of it. Should really be snaking so I can see where I'm going. So the pro tip for taxiing in, well, any of the warbirds, really, and not ground looping, is you really don't need much power to get it moving, and then once it does get moving, you back off the throttle and just let it roll. The number one mistake people make with warbirds, and mistake I tend to make if I've been playing things like IL-2 where the ground handling's significantly dumbed down, is you give it too much power. And then overcompensate with the rudder and in this case, the brakes. B29 or ASW Liberator. See, either of those would be fucking interesting. Actually interesting. It's an... Yeah, Peace Rhine is the F4F, which is... It's an F4E, but it has no BVR capability whatsoever. AIM 9s only. Hinting at Korea, they fully announced it. They're doing Korea. Little bit of right rudder. I gave it actually a pretty decent amount of rudder trim, so I don't need to really give it much right rudder on top of that. You only need about 8 pounds boost for takeoff in the Spitfire. You don't want to firewall the throttle, that is what kills people. And once you're airborne, you dial back the revs and boost a bit. Simples. Then we just got to trim it back out. It's an ED module. That's why it'll be done properly. ED are the only ones I really would expect to do that module justice. Razbam might be able to do it justice for a 29. Just because Aristratos would have some sort of experience / access to documentation. I don't know if he... I don't remember if he worked on 29s as well. I know he worked on 23s. But yeah, like, they would have a chance. Any of the Western devs, I would not trust to do a 29 properly. They'd fuck it up. Likewise, if any of the Western devs had attempted the Hind, it would have been a fuck up. It wouldn't have been as good as what it is. The only reason the Hind is as good as it is because ED did it. $17F, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm a little worried with some aspects of it for sure. Release with nothing and be perpetually unfinished. The Hind released with almost everything and it's been getting stuff ever since. Like, that's the thing. It's ED doing Soviet aircraft and ED doing Western aircraft are two completely different things. They're not even close in terms of how they turn out. The clouds are going to make it quite difficult to spot people. The cloud shadows, specifically. The other thing is, the third parties, like, Razbam have been doing some really good work recently. Heat Blur, I still have strong opinions on, which probably a lot of the community would disagree with, but that's because a lot of the community don't know what they're talking about. That's why I'm kind of... I expect the F4 to at least be reasonable, but I'm hoping they do it better justice than they did the F14, because the F14 is still missing a lot of stuff. Like, the fact you can still only pull, I think, 2 or 3 breakers in the whole aircraft. You can't do basically any of the emergency checklist procedures in the 14 without pulling several breakers in the back that aren't modelled. They focus on, as far as I'm concerned, they focus on presentation and roping in all the Kumas with cool-looking trailers and pretty graphics and gimmicks versus actually modelling the fucking thing properly. I'm hoping that changes, because the guy they've got working on the radar for the Phantom is really on top of his shit. The fact it took the Vigans flight model so fucking long to be fixed, even though it had been reported by people who should know, including, you know, former pilots, within a week or two of it releasing, and it was just buried on the forums, that says a lot to me, even at this point. I'm glad they fixed it. I'm glad they eventually finally fucking fixed it, because enough stink was raised that they couldn't not fix it anymore, but, like, it really should never have got to that point. So, yeah, as far as third parties go, I'm not at the position where I assume the third parties will do anything better than ED. In many cases, I assume they'll do things worse than ED. Not sure if this is an AI or a player. The server does have some AI. Well, yeah, but you can say the same thing about basically any of the third parties, some of them more so than others. It's 109. Little clumsy there. Oh no! Fuck. Too much trim. I'm dead. That's what happens when you haven't played Warbirds for a couple of months. Fucking hell. Let's see if I can... We'll grab a hot start Spitfire, so I don't have to wait for the warm-up again. Hello, can I not spawn in that slot? This is the thing, right, with the Warbirds. You're really... Hello? Hello? Like, what the fuck is going on here? Can I spawn, please? There we go. Yeah, the problem with Warbirds is if you've just come from flying jets, you're going to be very, very, very heavy on the controls, you're not going to be quick enough on the trim, and you're going to do that. You really, especially because I don't have an extension for my stick, even with curves, it's very sensitive, so you have to really, really be gentle with it. Don't make big control inputs at high speed. Brave enough driver 34 Rolls-Royce had a Merlin V12 transplanted in it? I guess. I don't know. Would that actually require bravery? Like, I assume it would have been adapted so that it's not complete suicide to drive it.
Rearming complete.
BMS, I mean, I'm glad that they've made some advances in that, but I think that BMS is also overblown as being somehow, like, the gold standard. The campaign system's really good. There are certain things it does really well, but, I mean, from what I've seen, it doesn't really do air defense that much better than DCS, other than the fact they won't shoot the moment you come into their range, but, like, the SAMs still have the incorrect guidance methods, like, still oversimplified. In terms of unit variety, they have probably about the same amount of units, they just have more variants, because they don't have to cover all these different time periods, right? So they can focus a bit more. But, like, a lot of the stuff that people say in favor of BMS over DCS, I don't think it actually holds up. I think it's just combination of nostalgia and looking for anything that kind of can be used to criticize the state of DCS. And DCS does definitely need a lot of fucking improvements, but I don't think that BMS really does things substantially that much better. That was a real rough takeoff. Still had too much nose up trim. So you want about 1 tick nose down, and I'm only going about half, which is not quite enough. I think in the flight sim community as a whole, civvy and military, there's a tendency to just pick something and fanboy it. And then everything else that isn't the thing you fanboy is the worst things, you know, the worst thing since Hitler, basically. Misfizz and fucking X-Plane guys do it to each other all the time. DCS and Falcon guys do it to each other all the time. It's just, it doesn't do anything. It's not fucking constructive. It's just shouting into the void while not actually contributing anything. Because a lot of the time the stuff that is brought up isn't actually something that the other sim does better. It's just brought up because it's the other sim, right? Yeah, I agree on that. I think ED would be a lot better off if they had more firm direction and a better sense of priorities. I definitely think you're right on that. On the other hand, I don't think it's possible for them to be able to do that, because at this point, the DCS community is so invested in getting them to serve like a million different things at once. You know, like I would say this whole thing with the high depth, you know, the high res models and the releasing a pack for it. That's not the actual problem. I mean, it's maybe not the best way of doing things, but that's not the actual problem. The actual problem is the spec for those models, for AI, that you're never going to fly yourself, was so high that it took so long for them to be researched and made, because every little detail had to be correct. You're never going to see any of that shit up close enough. Who fucking cares? Like, genuinely, who fucking cares? Well, I can tell you who cares. Hoggit cares, because they want to take screenshots zoomed into individual fucking machining patterns on individual fucking rivet heads so that they can go post it on Hoggit for upvotes. Like, this is the thing. You've got the fucking screenshot / cinematic lobby. You've got the fucking I want to bomb goats from 30,000 feet and never be shot at by anything lobby. They keep asking for fucking post-2000s modern shit. You've got the World War II lobby, who I think don't get enough fucking attention, because DCS has the potential to do World War II really, really fucking well. Way better than IL-2 does, if they just fucking focused on it. And then you've got the Cold War lobby. Except the Cold War lobby can never make up their mind what they actually want either. I shouldn't have cut the throttle that fast. The engine probably didn't like that. Warbirds are a very different skill set, very different muscle memory than a MiG-21, I'll tell you that. Oh, there's some people on here now, at least. That's good to see. The server tends to fill up quickly and then empty just as quickly. So sometimes you can have some really good sessions on here, but it's very hit or miss. I think really what kind of fucked DCS over right from the start was the high fidelity modern shit. If they hadn't done that, I think they would be a lot better off. And yes, I know, oh, but they did, you know, DCS only exists because of A10 contract from the US. Yeah, I get it. But going straight for the fucking high-tech modern, like, especially Western shit right off the bat has really fucked the game over in the long term. And I don't care if I offend people by saying that their favourite plane shouldn't have been made. I really don't care. Ah! I'm sure that thing diving away from me earlier was, but we'll just keep an eye it doesn't double back. That guy going? No? There he is. 190. Why are you trying to make a Spitfire overshoot you? I might be a bit out of practice, but I'm not that out of practice. Mustang took a crack at him too and nearly hit me, but oh well. We'll go for the finisher here. I think I need a bit more curve on my rudder pedals because they're really oversensitive when I'm making shots like that. One thing I think DCS could stand to model a bit more is the physical resistance against the rudder pedals at high speed. I think it does model it to some extent, just nowhere near enough. I mean, I think it could probably stand to do it a bit more with the controls in general, but... Has he got another guy on him? Oh yes, he has. That looks like it might be a Dora. What the fuck? Okay, no, never mind. It's another Anton there. I think he was trying to team kill the other 190 and he just realized that I was next to him. What is even going on? I am running the shit out of my engine. She's getting a bit warm, but we should have a little bit more time before we have to start throttling back. Come on, dude, start turning. Either turn or climb really steeply, please. Yes, do that. Keep doing that. Oh, he's gonna do the Luftwaffe. Yep. Average Luftwaffe player. Bit of aggressive negative G and then positive G, why not? Not gonna help you. Well, it might run me out of ammo, actually. It might help him. What the fuck is that? Out of cannon. DCS could really stand to make that less of a thing. Like, make it fuck your pilot over more. Because that is not fun to do in real life at all. He died anyway. And we're gonna come off the power a bit and head home. I think we just got dragged most of the way to one of their air bases. He could just outrun you. On the deck he might be able to if he had enough of a head start. Kinda wish we had a 150 octane option for the Spit in this so we could at least keep up with the fucking late war Germoid shit. Either give us mid-war Germans or give us fucking 150 octane for the Mark 9. Or give us both. Whoopsie daisies. No, the clipped wing spit isn't significant. Like, it's not enough of a speed difference. And also it handles like shit. And it looks like shit. Spitfire should not have clipped wings. Especially not Merlin engine Spitfires. That's probably where I'm picking up flak from there. And I think I've got a tail. I think that airfield might be neutral. This train line, I think, should take me to Karantan. And once I'm there, I should be able to find my way back to Asgid fairly easily. I could also just pick up altitude and look at the coast to figure out where I am, but... slight Allied stack, but at least there's still Germans on. Oh shit. It's a fucking Dora. Although he's at low alt, which means he's not smart enough to hang out above me and dive on me. Which, like, I would not be able to do anything about. He's dumb enough to actually come down low and chase me. So he will catch me up, but it might mean he'll try and turn, which he should not win. The only issue is I don't have much ammo, I'm just down to machine guns. So I feel like, okay. He's dropped off picture, but that doesn't mean he's necessarily gone. It might just mean he's really down low, trying to creep up behind me. Ah, he is. Hello. Hey, bud. Yeah, now he's going to climb to space. He had enough overtake speed that he'll actually get away with it. If he wasn't quite so fast as he overshot, I would actually catch him in the climb, because the Spitfire climbs like a demon. Especially steep climbs, the Spit does those way better than the Dora does. Oh my god, you are actually dumb. Good. Do it. Do it. Drop down. Come on. Couple hits. Oh, come on, turn around. You know you want another piece. Let's go over the top. Come on, dipshit. Down you come. Okay, I lost sight of him. Slight problem. Problem is there's two here. Oh, there you are. He's not quite dumb enough to take the bait, but he's also not smart enough to just stay above me. He keeps coming in from below and behind, thinking I won't see him. Just gotta watch out he's not going to drag me for the second, which he probably is trying to do. Oh yeah, he is. I'm probably going to get nailed here just because it's 2-on-1 and I'm low ammo and not in a good situation. But oh, this one's giga stupid. This one is actually dumb enough to try it. He's in a 109, so he might get away with turning a bit. Whereas the Dora definitely wouldn't. He's going to drag me for the Dora. Come on, give me another turn, buddy. We're not going to stay on him too long, because the Dora will be coming in for an attack. Dora's picked up some altitude because he has something of a functioning brain. He'll probably go for a swoop line with this guy. Come on, come down. Dora might actually disengage, which would be quite nice of him. Uh-oh. Bad noise. Bad noise. We cooked the engine. I was not watching my temps enough. So now we are in trouble. And he's probably going to swoop me down and finish me off. Fuck. Emergency T reserves on it, yeah, if only. Not that opening the rad flap all the way is going to do anything here. Not even sure whose side of the lines I'm on, to be honest. Yeah, there she goes. Don't exactly have the greatest fields around here either. We'll just have to take what we can get, which is going to be this one directly to the front. Generally don't want to land in a field like this because they tend to be a bit soft. You don't want to land on soft ground because you don't want the aircraft to dig in and flip over. But we got down okay. Can we get off of the wing? I think we're stuck. Ah, there we go. We'll just vacate the premises in case old mate decides to come down and give us a finisher. Go find a nice French girl to shack up with. best feature in DCS. If only the controls were a little more intuitive. And if only it was synced over network. I wondered for a while if it was, because sometimes it seemed like I would walk up to people's aircraft and they'd be looking at me, but apparently it's not. It's a shame. It'd be very funny if you could walk up to somebody's aircraft after you eject next to their airfield and, like, just generally be a nuisance. Oh, my poor Spitfire, what have I done to you? Not bad for a belly landing, though. I don't think we've damaged anything that wasn't already damaged. Didn't even break the prop. On that note, I would like to keep going, but it is getting into the afternoon. I haven't eaten yet. Oh, yep. That's why we walked away from the aircraft. Mr. Good Sportsman over here. Yeah, I haven't eaten lunch yet, so I think I'm going to call it there. I'll find somewhere we can raid out to. I'm going to have something to eat, and I will see if I can squeeze in another stream sometime soon-ish, next couple of weeks. I'm trying to find a place to move to a little closer to work, so my weekends are pretty full up at the moment. But we'll see how we go, and hopefully once I do move, I'll be able to go back to streaming, like, at least every week. Because I'll just be able to come home from work and set the stream up. Won't have to deal with an hour and a half on the bus or whatever. But it was good catching up with you guys. It was good getting some more DCS in. Hope you all enjoyed the stream. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And let's see who I can send you along to. I have to use my phone for this because I don't think I'm logged in on Steam browser. Who have we got? Whoa, Conti's on. Conti appears to be doing some DCS. So I think we have our raid candidate right there. There we go. That's probably going to take like a minute or so to go out, because since I'm doing this through my phone, it doesn't give me the option to speed up the raid. Yeah, minute and a half. But anyway, thank you all very much for hanging out with me. I just realized, because I didn't have my phone running during the stream, I missed some alerts. So... Kamov, if you're still here, man, thanks for the resub. If you're not still here, then thanks anyway. It's nice to see you again. But yeah, hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend. Next stream I will try and get Paranoia 2 up and running, so we'll play through that since we finished Paranoia 1, the original, last stream. Maybe a bit more DCS. What else have I got that I kind of want to stream over the coming weeks? There was something, but it slipped my mind. I'm sure I'll remember it. And in the meantime, I'll be finishing Control. And then I think... I do want to try out Phantom Liberty, but I think I'm probably going to do Atomic Heart first. Maybe. I don't know if I'll stream it though, because usually I don't want to stream like single player games the first time I play them through, because it makes it kind of hard for me to take in the story. But we'll see how we go with that. Anyway, raid should be going now.